What's interesting over here in the United Kingdom is literally when you go around London. And what was interesting recently, just going around with people covering, of course, the presidential visit, was they hadn't been to London for a while and they couldn't believe the tent cities that are popping up in prestigious areas like Belgravia, Marble Arch, Park Lane, seemingly, because, of course, the former Deputy British Prime Minister, Angela Rayner, has done away with the Vagrancy Act, which means, in effect, that you could pop up a tent in anywhere and you won't get moved on unless enough complaints come through. So this is now what we have when you go through our wonderful capital city. You're going past every single shop doorway, there's somebody living in there, and I feel sorry for those people because it shouldn't be the case, but then many shouldn't turn up illegally, as we now know. Here's where this gets particularly interesting though, because you see, as ever with the ineffectual Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, well, he likes to hide behind fake facts and figures, and there are many, many of them. Let me explain. Hi, good to see you. I'm all right, thank you. Nice to have your company. Welcome one and all brand new subscribers. It's a funny thing, as I say, if you haven't been to London for a while, you do sort of wander around, for instance, like the West End and think, this is not glitzy anymore. Now, I know memories can play, but I live here, as you know. So when you're wandering around, you think, yeah, it does look a dump, Lots of places are boarded up, there's no businesses, everything's got, those fake facades that you see where they look like a shop, but then when you get closer, it's just a cloth or a painting. Everything is smoke and mirrors. Things are bad. And it's all really down to this particular person who's supposedly running one of the greatest cities in the world, Sadiq Khan. Now, as you know, President Trump openly basically said the guy is a stone cold loser and a nasty person, and it's hard really to argue with that when you see all around, plus all the headlines that he's openly lied about, included of course the Pakistani rape gangs, and recently of course the US charges. Everything is smoke and mirrors to make him look better, right? Now, what he's really trumpeting about is this, and what a lot of people don't realize is when you talk to shopkeepers in one of the most prestigious shopping areas in London, Oxford Street, which I'm sure if you've been to London, you will know when you first go down there, you think it's quite exciting, isn't it? See all the big stores. Well, there aren't really many stores now that are that big. There's the Marks and Spencers and of course Selfridges, but the rest, a lot of American candy sweet stores, which are fronts, as we all know, and then just various nondescript shops that you could see in any high street up and down the United Kingdom if they had a high street left. But you see, Sadiq Khan plans to make Oxford Street fully pedestrian. Now, the ridiculousness of that is it's a long street, 4 miles long, right? So the problem that you have in that is when you think about it, you've got the situation where, imagine you're at Oxford Circus, and now the only way that you could get around, so imagine you've got a walker or you're not very good on your feet or you're in a mobility scooter, you have to find a way of getting down all the stairwells in Oxford Circus Tube. There are no lifts till you get down there. So consequently, how are people going to get around shopping? The idea is to kill off Oxford Street. Oh, yes, very, very succinctly. When you talk to the shopkeepers of Oxford Street, they're already fed up with the amount of business that they've lost under this mayoralship of Sadiq Khan, because he's continually shutting the place down for endless marches that are nothing to do with the great people of Great Britain. So you can understand that they're losing millions of pounds every year from potential shoppers. By making it pedestrianised, then they're going to lose even more. But he wants to push ahead with this. So what we've seen is endless weekends of what it will be like when they make it fully pedestrian. Many people have said no, but as you can understand, the pushy person that's in charge, who's already made a disaster out of every single thing that he's touched so far, probably will get its way. Of course, it will be fully reversed the moment we get a sensible, level-headed mayor back in to the rightful chair inside, of course, the City Hall in the heart of London. But when you talk to people, you have to say to yourself, now that would be the end of Oxford Street. Rumour has it, of course, what Sadiq Khan would like, and again you have to say allegedly, is at the bottom end of Oxford Street, Marble Arch. Well, he wouldn't mind, for instance, if there was a super mosque somewhere around there, simply because there are so many that now find it very hard to get, say, to the mosques that they're in. There was an opportunity, apparently, and we're not quite sure what happened there, to the former famous London Pavilion in the heart of Piccadilly Circus, having been turned also into a super mosque. That's gone very quiet. You see what's going on behind the scenes, and you see why we like President Trump so much, highlighting all this negativity. Neil Shaw, Kensington, London.